Alrighty everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Test Chamber. Let me quiet down this amazing music. And we will get started. Alright. Hey everyone, what is up? My name is Joe Raddick, once again your host for The Test Chamber. I am a level designer and community manager and guy who pokes stuff to do things. Yeah. So this week we're going to go over the patch notes from the last patch, which was like a week ago. It's been too long, I don't even remember. A little over a week ago, 10 days. We're also going to talk about the basics of Hammer. So if you've ever wanted to make a map for Black Mesa, like either a single player map or a multiplayer map or somewhere in between, sorry about that, you'll be able to. And we'll get you started with this. I'll talk about more about the tutorial stuff soon. So let me just... I think I need to click that. All right, there we go. That's what I wanted. All right, so this is just going through the patch notes. So if you missed it, we released content update 1, or content update 0.10. Within it was we added a new multiplayer map called DM Stack. This is like brand new, not seen places. This is totally our own creation. Absolutely gorgeous, super organic, smaller than most, so if you want to play that, it's there for you. We added the G-Man, so you can play as G-Man now in multiplayer. We've added the zombie first person view hands now, so if you play as a zombie you can do that. The guards now also have first person hand models also. On top of that, we have a bunch of big, huge fixes for single player that I'm not going to jump into because there's a lot of them. We've also gone through and did a lot of rebalancing on Gasworks and fixed up a lot of things with lighting and like energy packs, and we're going to keep doing that with the other maps too. We're just doing them one at a time to make sure that we do them right. We had to remove the Dreadnought from Subtransit. Sorry about that, guys. I know that a lot of you guys actually really liked having like this massive train in the middle of Subtransit with 2 mounted machine guns. Unfortunately, it was just a little too buggy for us. I think a lot of people noticed that too, is that it was really hard to use in machine guns, and when you were on it, it was hard to use then. Doesn't mean the Dreadnought's going to be completely out of the game. We may come back and look at it again later, but for now, we are going to just be reverting it back to what it was. Couple of other things, and that was it. So, a couple of bugs have popped up since the patch that we know of. Apparently T-posing Vorts and guards and A-grunts are still happening. And the big one was Zombie Gordon. This was a bug that we didn't expect, and it didn't pop up. As I went through and tested a lot of these things. I didn't find this bug, and so it was kind of a surprise to everybody when all of a sudden people were like, oh my gosh, like, why does Gordon have zombie hands? I can say that it is in the process of being fixed. So good news for that. Unfortunately, I was going to treat all of you guys to adding a cheat code that would allow you to enable Gordon Freeman's zombie hands if you followed a certain code, but unfortunately we weren't able to get that implemented in time, and it's a little bit harder with our systems. It's a little bit harder than you might think to do, so we're not going to be able to do that right away. I'm going to see though if I'm gonna definitely figure out though if there's gonna be a way for you guys, if you really just want that joke, be able to play as Zombie Gordon, going through the single player campaign. Jane Sable is asking, how do we think these bugs arose? We think it was a mess up with how we added more hands to multiplayer. We think a little bit of stuff got contaminated of sorts in single player, and so it was calling the wrong hand models. You're gonna have to pardon my voice today. The allergies are absolutely killer where I am right now, so bear with me on that. Anyways, so for those of you who are interested, we are going to talk about Hammer, and more specifically the Hammer World Editor and how it pertains to Black Mesa. This is going to be one of those live streams where if you want to like play along and or follow along, you'll be able to. So if you want to know how to like set up your hammer, I'm going to quickly walk through that. It's not too hard, but I'll quickly go through it quickly go through it, and then we'll actually show you what some of the things in Hammer do. This is the start of a new tutorial series that we are working on. There's a lot of different things that we are working on. I know that we have a couple of videos already planned for compiling art assets that Adam, our lead artist, is working on. And so I'm going to be doing some of the Hammer stuff. Some other people might be doing some Hammer stuff. We'll talk about that and a bunch of other stuff. So for all intents and purposes, welcome to using Hammer. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go and find where all your Steam games are stored. A lot of other like games that use Source, like Portal 2 and CS:GO, they have their own like SDKs. We don't have one of those, so you kind of have to go through this. You have to go through a couple of folders to find where Hammer is, and this isn't too uncommon. TF2 has to do this, and I think some Half-Life I think has to also do this too. So start off by navigating to where your Steam games are. So it looks something like this. Then you'll want to go to Steam Apps because that's where all your games are going to be stored. Go to Common, that's where all the data is. Go to Black Mesa, Bin, and then scroll down and you'll find hammer.exe. It's an application right there. You'll double click that to launch it. Now you're going to probably get an error. If you get an error asking about where is gameinfo.txt, if it mentions gameinfo.txt, make sure to, if it mentions gameinfo.txt, this is probably what you need to do to fix it. Go back to the Black Mesa folder, and then in the BMS folder, scroll down, and you'll see here's the gameinfo.txt. What's happening when you initially launch the Hammer, it is expecting it to be in a different location than the BMS. So just copy, don't move it, just copy that file back to Black Mesa and drop it in Half-Life 2. And that's where you will find where everything is. So we'll go back now to Black Mesa, Bin, and then Hammer. And it'll boot up. Sorry about that. And once it boots up, you'll see this. Now this is pretty simple. You might see a couple of random errors down here. Generally they can be ignored, or we'll fix them in just a second. So you can exit that. Now what you'll need to go to is Tools and then Options. Now you'll start off with this setting. This is the Half-Life 2 setting. You'll be able to run Hammer through this, but it'll be the Half-Life 2 Hammer. What you need to start off with is you can either just edit the Half-Life 2 one or click Edit. There you go, Edit. Click Add and then name it the Black Mesa profile. It'll be the Black Mesa configuration. I've already gone ahead and done this, kind of like the whole like, oh look, I cooked this earlier type thing. But I'll show you really quick. What you'll need to do is you'll have a blank one of these pages. You will want to go to, you'll want to click Add, and this will automatically open up to Black Mesa bin, and you'll want to add these 3 FGDs. And once you add those 3 FGDs, you have to do it individually. You're all set there. You don't have to mess with the default point entity or the default solid entity class. You can change this to like a func detail. I know a lot of people do that. That's what I do for TF2 and for Black Mesa itself. For the default entity class, you can set that to whatever you want it to be. I just keep it to stock. Some people keep it to info player start. Depends on what you're working on and whatever you need a lot of. People use prop static. Coordinate texture, you can keep that as black, or you can set it to like a skybox texture. And down here, you will set it to wherever your user directory is, Black Mesa, and then BMS in both of them. Is sound going through here, or did my sound completely die out again? That's not me, actually. That's not my mic dying out. That's just me pausing for a second. Right, so the other thing you'll need to do is you'll need to go to Build Programs. And same exact thing, everything's in the bin. It'll ask for a BSP, a viz, and a rad executable. These are all the things that do the compiling, that actually build the map. That's what they do specifically is really, really like technical. Totally out of the realm of what this tutorial is going to be about. So just simply, if it says BSP, click Browse. It'll take you straight to Black Mesa bin. Scroll down and find VBSP right there. Select that, and then do the same for VViz and VRAD. And then in the final one at the bottom, you just need to go to Black Mesa, BMS, and then the maps folder. And again, this video will be up on Twitch Archive, and I will have this rendered up. This whole live stream will be rendered up this weekend, and this tutorial specifically will be rendered up and put into its own separate playlist. So if you want just a tutorial, you'll be able to do that. Click Apply, click OK. You will need to restart Hammer. So just, again, close out, go back to Black Mesa, bin, hammer.exe. All right, and so now you should be all set up with all be set up with how like to get Hammer working. So let's actually do the fun thing, which is building something. That's what everyone wants to do. They want to build something. They don't want to hear me talk about the technicalities of VViz and stuff. To do that, just start off by clicking File, New, and you'll be given these 4 windows. Something that you may need to do is on the very black screen that you might have, you need to go to Camera and click it and set it to 3D shaded texture polygons. It defaults to wireframe, and you can't really see the world that way, so it's going to look a little funny when you try and build the map. So doing it this way, you can actually see what it looks like. Alright, so we're going to go through really quickly how to place brushes, how to place a prop, how to add a spawn, and then and how to add a light. Like these 4 very basic things, and then we'll talk about a couple of the other things that you'll need and things that you'll be able to do, or things that you can kind of use as shortcuts that we as the developers will provide to you to make it easier. So we're going to start off by making a brush. Brushes are the building blocks of everything that you see in Hammer. Walls, ground, floors, everything are all brushes. So, or mostly all brushes. So to add a brush, simply click on this gray cube, 5th one down on the left under the block tool, and you pick a window. In this case, I'm picking the top view, and you just click and drag, and you'll get the black and white outline. And then when you're done, you just click enter, and that's it. You've made a brush. Go over to the camera view, click Z as in Z, and then you can fly around a little bit with the WASD keys. And to stop flying around, just click Z again. Yeah, you should have 4 viewports. Top, side, front, and then 3D. So yeah, X, Y, XZ, and YZ. So if you ever see your brush is highlighted red like this, just click escape, and now you'll be able to actually manipulate it and move it around. In this case, I'm going to grab this one little white block here, and I'm going to move it. I'm going to make it smaller, because I can make it smaller or bigger that way. And then I'm going to just grab anywhere in the middle of it and click and drag, and I'm going to center it on the origin of the map. Now this is a really crappy texture. This is just the army netting texture. That's not what a ground is going to be. So we're going to select our brush. We're going to click on this button over here, or this button over here too works also. But we're going to click on this. This is the material editing, the face edit, material edit sheet window. Click browse, and it popped up on my other screen, but you'll get something that looks a lot like this. And this is where all the textures and materials are. So we want something groundish. Let's do concrete. So we will search for concrete and just type that in like that. Click search. That's not what I wanted. Come back here. Push the wrong button. There we go. Don't click anything and let it do its own search, and we get a bunch of concrete stuff. So you can see all the concrete that we use from Blast Pit, and like I use these in Lambda Bunker. This is used in Undertow. This is from Surface Tension. All these different types of things. So we're just going to pick a concrete texture. Nothing too exciting. Let's pick this one right here. That is kind of exciting. And now we have it selected, and while the brush is still selected, it's red. Just click apply, and now you can see that the brush is all like that. Cool. So now we want to add walls. Walls are very important. So we are going to, I'm going to just move this down. So we don't want to go through and have to like make a brush for everything. Sometimes we just want to clone what we have. And by clone, I mean like copy paste. So what you'll do for that is you'll hit shift, hold shift, and then just drag. You can see now there's two different brushes of the same type. So what we're going to do is we'll select the top brush, escape so we can transform it, and we will do that. We're also going to make it a little bit taller. There we go. And then we'll shift drag again. Now we have two walls. We'll shift drag, and then we'll hit Control and M. And that opens up this transformation tool. This allows you to move, scale, and adjust stuff. For this specifically, we're going to have rotate, and we're going to rotate at 90 degrees. And once we do that, you'll see that it rotates. I'll move it so that this line is lined up with this line over here. And then we'll drag it again. So now we have a big empty box. And then we'll drag the floor up to the ceiling. And so now we have a giant rubble-filled box. Quick and simple. All right, so we're gonna go through just like we did before. I'm going to select all the brushes that I want. I'm gonna click browse again, and I'm gonna give them a better texture than that. So I'm gonna give them this cinder block texture. This is one of my favorite textures. A bunch of other people don't like it, but this is one of my favorite textures in the game. So now we have cinder block walls and a ceiling. And the big thing is the map is sealed. That means is if I picked any point inside the map, I cannot draw a line to outside of the map. So this area over here and like up here, here, and here, that's outside the map. The area where I am in the 3D view right now, that's inside the map because it's sealed. So your map always needs to be sealed. If it is not sealed, there is a leak. I will get into that more in later tutorials. SPZI Twitch is saying hollow setting is also something you can do. Yes, it is, but it's usually much better practice to just make the brushes individually. Less likely for things to go wrong, for you to create off grid, which is the grid is obviously what we're building on. Off-grid geometry or micro brushes or all those types of things. So yeah, you can use the hollow tool if you know what it is and if you know really how it works, but generally I advocate to make individual brushes. So next up, the next thing is we're going to add a spawn point. So a spawn is an entity, and entities are the logic and brains behind every map. This is world geometry. If I refer to world geometry or just geometry in general, I'm talking about the brushes. Entities, you get at this little piece here. It's the fourth one down, right above the brush tool. Shortcut is, I mean, they say Shift E. You can click it. And then with these, you don't have to click on the grid. You can just click in 3D view where you want it to be. And you'll see that it pops up. So there, we can see it there, and there, and there. Double click that, or hit Alt-Enter. And you'll see that the properties window pops up. With the properties windows, you can change it to all the entities that are point entities, which is what these are. So you can see huge lists of things that we have. What we want is info player spawn. We will just type in info underscore player start. Sorry, not spawn. Info player start. This is the standard start for all single player campaigns. If you are making a multiplayer map, and I'm pointing this out because some people do single player, some people do multiplayer. If you're making just a multiplayer map, you do not use an info player start, you use an info player deathmatch, which is right here. Marine and scientists are some that we also have, but they currently aren't working as intended. So you're going to be using info player deathmatch and info player start, depending on if you want single player or multiplayer. In this case, we're just going to use single player. So now we click apply, exit out, move this guy so he's on grid. Another quick shortcut, you can just tap on him and you'll get these little circles in the corner. That means you can rotate it. So I'm just going to rotate the guy so he's facing towards the center. And then the other thing is you don't want spawns touching the ground. If you spawn with them touching on the ground, your players will get stuck. So if they're touching anything in general, props, or if they props or brushes or displacements, either that spawn will not work, so you won't spawn there, or the player will get stuck, and that is something that nobody likes. So I'm going to decrease the grid size by clicking the bracket button next to where P is. The open bracket button makes the grid size smaller, and then the one next to it, which is the closed bracket, makes it bigger. And I'm shotgunning through a lot of these things just for the sake of saying it out. We'll have more and better tutorials on specific things later. So I'm just going to move him up a little bit, so now he's floating above the ground. Cool. So now if we really wanted to, we can compile this map and we could spawn in it, but the issue is it will be full bright. That means there's no light at all. So when there's no lighting entity or any light information, the game will panic a little bit and just make it so that everything's the same brightness. And that's really ugly because you don't get those nice shadows and there's no color contrast and all that stuff. What we're going to add is a light. We go back to the entity tool, click it again, click Alt Enter, open it up, and type in light. Light. There we go. And so we'll click apply, and that'll apply it. Don't worry about naming it. To move it to the center of the room, like so, just like that. And this is the brightness, and the brightness HDR. You don't have to worry about the HDR one right now, but for brightness, the first three colors are the RGB values, and the final value is its brightness in. I'm actually not sure what the brightness unit is, but that one is like this. It starts at 200. We're going to just set it to 750. That way we can actually tell that it's lit. Probably make it 1,000 just to make it easier to sell. So we'll click apply. Awesome. So that's all of that. We would be ready to compile now. If you wanted to, you can also add a prop to this map. Adding props is the same as adding any other point entity. Just click this. Name it prop static. And then you can click world model, click browse, and go through it, and you'll be able to pick whatever model you want. If you make a prop static model and it doesn't show up in game, it's possible that you are trying to use a prop dynamic as a prop static, and that doesn't work. Simply go back, click prop stat, click on this and change it to prop dynamic, and you're good. But for now, I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to quickly save this. And you can save it wherever you want. I'm just going to save it to my desktop. And yes, I did put that up just because I wanted to make sure. We will call it test map underscore BM. We will click save. We'll click save. There we go. And I've saved it. You'll have to trust me on that one. And so now we're ready to compile. So the compiling options are really quick, really simple. Click F9. Just tap the F9 key. These are your compile options. These are the basic ones. We'll get into the super advanced ones later, and generally we'll just tell you, I will probably suggest using something else besides the Hammer compiler, but that's down the road. So BSP, that is what tells everything where everything is. Viz is visibility, and rad is radiosity, or the lighting. So we want to just, for now, use fast. If you're going to be doing like compiles of maps that you put on the workshop, you'll just use normal or full and HDR, and it gets a little crazy after that. So what we'll do is we will click this, and then we aren't going to run the game after compiling, just because that gets a little annoying. Click OK. Make sure everything's right. Click OK. And that quick, I have a pretty quick computer, so it doesn't take very long to compile. But here's the compile log. Everything seemed to have worked. Looks fine. I don't see the word leak anywhere. If you happen to have a leak, there we go. If you happen to have a leak, click map. Click the map drop-down menu, click load point file, and you'll see that there's nothing there. So we're good. All right, so the map is there. It's in game, so let me just quickly boot up the game and we'll see inside of it. As soon as it launches. Oh, okay, so we can't run it because Hammer is running. Close Hammer. Do you wish to save the test map? Yes, I do. So this too. We'll launch Black Mesa. Alright, and now we're in game. To load up your map, you have a couple of options. You can click, if it's a multiplayer map, I suggest doing host an online game, and then click the map that you want, and then select the map that you want to play, and just host it locally. But for single player campaigns, you open up the console by clicking tilde, and then you just type in map, and then whatever we called it, which is test map BM. Click that. And we will launch. I see a lot of people talking about models in chat. Is it possible to import models from design softwares into Hammer, like Autodesk Series 3ds Max, AutoCAD? And this was asked by ProSound Video Gamer 1. Yes, it is possible, and I can tell you that we have a tutorial for that ready. We just need to get ready, we just have to go over it and make sure it's ready to publish. But expect that relatively soon. So that will cover just models in general. I think we will have, though, a how to compile for Hammer specifically tutorial already put together if we don't already. And so here's our room. You can see the rubble floor, the light in the middle, and then all the concrete stuff. Now, that's the basics. You can go through now and just make whatever you want. Be my guest, and you now at least have the basics on how to make a map. More of the specific stuff, like the errors, design theory, all that stuff, that will come up. If you have any other questions, you can ask them on the forums in the test chamber thread, or in the test chamber subforum, or you can tweet Black Mesa devs. You can tweet me. You can tweet. You can post on our Facebook. Somebody's gonna see it, and if that person can't answer it, they'll throw it off to somebody who can, and we'll try and get you an answer as best as possible. SBC Twitch is asking again, will you be making a tutorial on how to make custom weapon models? I'm not sure about if we're going to be that specific, but we are definitely doing models in general. But I think we might be putting that up, but I'm not sure when. And that's the basics of Hammer in 30 minutes. So right now, I'm going to go blank once more, and we're gonna go play multiplayer. So if you guys are here for the tutorial, that's gonna be it for now. If you want to come and play some Black Mesa Deathmatch with me, I'm going to go find a server with Stack on it, and we're going to go play that. I will tell you the name of the server as soon as I find one. If anyone has any questions at all, just say so, and I will do my best to answer them. Jet Lennet is asking when are the scientists and marine spawns going to be finished and done. The answer is hopefully soon, but not sure. We don't really have much of a timeline right now. If you tweeted at us, I didn't see it, so I might not have seen it. So ask me now, and I'll be able to tell you if I can actually answer it or not. All right, so I'm on a Stack server right now. It is the official Black Mesa San Francisco 1 Stack server. It's a deathmatch. Come and join me. And I will do my best to come and answer questions still while playing. This is going to be difficult because I'm not the best. I'm not the best deathmatch player, and so it's hard for me to do both at the same time. As we wait for people to come up. So SBC Twitch is asking, why did you not include the panel on Gordon's hands from the original? That's not really a question I can answer right now. I have absolutely no idea. I was nowhere near whoever was designing the model hands for that. So that is a question for somebody else. I will see if I can maybe find an answer. Yeah, official San Fran 1. Actually, I'll just click that and you can see it up in the upper left there. So I'll still keep taking questions on Hammer, Black Mesa, what we're working on, what we're not working on. Comments, questions, concerns, jokes. Again, if you guys ever have stuff, like if you have questions about how something works, or if you're like, hey, you know, I'm a modder, and it would totally make my life easier if you could do this. Tell us, like tweet us, post on the forums, all that type of stuff. We do see it and we do listen to it. A lot of the ideas we do like. We just have priorities over what needs to be done and what can be done and what can't be done. And our resources are a little thin sometimes. So bear with us on it. It's not that we're ignoring you or that we don't like your idea, just that we haven't had a chance to actually get to it. I got you, no, come on. Ah. If you mean aiming down the sights, like iron sights on all the weapons, that's not something that we're currently looking into. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We now have voice chat too. That was the one thing I knew I forgot until I heard it. Probably actually going to have to adjust that really quick. Map is crazy.
10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I got stuck. Nice. Other things, for the test chamber stuff, if there's like any topic that you guys want us to talk about, or if there's something that you want us to do on the stream, or maybe even a mod that you've made that you want us to show off, totally just be like, hey, here's what it is. Could you show this off maybe? Or I think this would be a good idea or a good thing to show off on the test chamber, and we'll take a look at it. And if we think it is, we will. Yeah, Black Mesa was in the Steam Summer Sale.
4, 3, 2, 1. We got 15 minutes remaining.
Is my voice better now? All of a sudden, as soon as I dropped in game, my voice just completely went down. So I think there's something wrong with my mic in game. How am I now? Ah! Well, I'm taking a look at my mic, and I think my mic's going up. Am I still louder now? Because my recording software is saying that I'm louder than I was before. If that's the case, there's a new bug with my system, and I need to get that fixed before the next stream. Should be better now. I have the response on my mic turned way up. But it seems to quiet itself out again. Not too sure why. Ah! Random bee. For those of you who also missed it, we MapCore interviewed a bunch of us from the dev team, and we were talking about things that we were working on or wanted to work on soon, and like future plans and stuff. And one of those was I just want to make sure everyone knows we were talking about co-op. I know a lot of people have been asking about co-op. I'm happy to say that we are working on somehow getting co-op in-game. Again, no timeline on that because we don't know. It's a big undertaking with our current systems. So gotcha. Don't want to go for the Glown right now. Ooh. Nice shot. I just get 2 kills with grenades. Nice. Yes. Yes, nobody 17 soon with trademark. But the ultimate goal is to make sure that people who want to mod and make certain things like co-op campaigns or
10 minutes remaining.
like new types of multiplayer maps, they can do that with our engine. And we're getting all the things that together that you need to do that. I think I just killed myself with my own grenade. Seem to have like endless supply of grenades right now. I might have taken myself out, but I took 2 people out with me. Darn it. I've noticed that sometimes my sound gets a little backwards. I think it's a system thing, but I have no control over it. I will look into it. I'll look into it for next time. Okay. 2. Almost got that. I think I got up here. Oh no, am I stuck? I might be stuck. Oh well, this is embarrassing. Well, that's really embarrassing. I got myself stuck in a very nice spot too. You can scope with the Tau cannon, like you can scope with any weapon if you click Z. Not too many people know that, but like I see here I am with the Glock. I can't fire it, but once you start zooming in, you can actually do stuff. Oh, you crypt. Oh, that's not good. Ah. Didn't even have a chance. Yeah, so Morlock, who is in chat right now, that's Craig Murphin. He is the lead designer behind DM Bounds. So if you have any compliments or complaints or anger about the map, you can direct it towards him. And if you have anything about, like, say, Lambda Bunker or something, I worked on that one. I did the art for Lambda Bunker. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just space thing through that. Set that off. Egon is fun. I don't know, what do you guys think about the Egon right now? I see a lot of people saying it's good, a lot of people saying it's too overpowered, not a lot of people saying that it is underpowered, and that's a good sign. But what do you guys think? Dang it. I hope someone saw that because I'm not going to be able to do that again. Get the Tau gun. Didn't realize it. Oh. Some say Egon, some say Gluon. I personally say Glown, but I get yelled at every time I do because that's not what it's supposed to be pronounced as. But it's an inside joke that I keep using, and it's a really bad habit. Ah. I'm not sure if we can. I know we can do both. I know we can do like one or the other. I don't know if we can do both though. I will ask, and I will mention it on like our forum post or something. Let's see, where are you?
30 seconds.
See you, Crypt. Or maybe Craig knows about the Vertex thing.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's right behind me. I think we might be working on getting them updated, but I'm not also sure on where that is. I'll make sure to mention it on the forums. On our forums at forums.blackmesagame.com.
3, 2, 1. We got 15 minutes remaining.
See you later, Nubcake89. Generally, if you're gonna have voice chat, you don't want to spam it too much with songs. I'm just gonna mention on courtesies of using voice chat. Try not to spam it too much. People might not appreciate the music that you're putting on. Black Mesa Insecurity, is that the mod, recreating, wow, Blue Shift, that's it. And, the other one that the name's blanking on me right now. Oh. The dumpster. So the dumpster, here's a bit of a behind the scenes developer talk. During the development of this map, one of our testers just completely loved camping in that dumpster. So much so that we actually almost had to consider removing it. Because of how powerful he was making it, and obviously I mean, we kept it in. But he was always, oh, has anyone seen this person? No? Alright, fine, go and check out, check the dumpster. And he was always in the dumpster. So in one of the early versions of Lambda Bunker, and this almost made it into the game, in Lambda Bunker, I detailed in the dumpster room, I actually took one of the dumpsters, I filled it up, and then set it on fire as an homage to our tester who would always hide in the dumpster.
We have 10 minutes remaining.
I should have made it a trash compactor with a button nearby. That would have been fun. Maybe I'll consider that for another map. I'll maybe make like we'll do a map around the Black Mesa's trash. Could have. I think we made that joke a couple of times, almost definitely. Gotcha. Missed. Channel. I missed. That's how good I am. Gotcha. So there's a downside right now. There is currently probably somebody who is not playing nicely. on the thing right now. And I do know about that. I know some people have pointed it out in chat, in the game, and in Twitch. I don't have the command to kick him or ban him, so I apologize for that. I do know about it. I do see it. I'm trying not to make a big stint about it because, you know, you don't want to give attention to that. So, if you're in the stream and you're cheating, please don't, because next time I will not tolerate it. Ah! If you're also playing music over your mic just constantly, I ask not to do that on this. I mean, that's just some people might not appreciate the music. Some people might actually want to try and talk, and they can't talk over the music. I think in TF2 they're called like I think just in general everyone calls them mic spammers. So don't do that. Like, that's not cool. No one likes it. And I promise to have better admin controls for the next time we play through, now that these things are actually becoming an issue. You probably want to look for the item stat list, or whatever they're called. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I know what it is.
5 minutes remaining.
Beyond that, we can be totally cool and reasonable people. The Black Mesa community is really nice. See you later, SPZ. Bye. That was Twitch. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, thanks. Nice shot. Right, so in the last minute and a half before I go, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. We'll be doing this again at some point, I don't know when, but usually at most it will be 2 weeks between test chambers. Might do another one next week if we have more stuff to talk about. As always, feedback on these streams is always appreciated. You can tweet at the Black Mesa Devs. You can post on our forums at forums.blackmesagame.com. Also, if you aren't already, and you totally should, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at Black Mesa Devs, and follow us on Facebook at Black Mesa Game. Yeah, I just wrote as Black Mesa. I forget off the top of my head. I will link those before I leave. So again, thank you everyone for watching, and hope you learned a bit about Hammer today, and the wonderful world that it is.
30 seconds!
So again, thank you very much everyone, thanks for watching, and see you all next time. Have a good evening.